Before we get started with today's video, if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you for coming back and welcome back to another video. If this is not your first video of mine, but you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting on? It's completely free, so make sure you hit subscribe down below. Also, make sure you turn on the bell notification so you can be notified whenever it is that I upload. And if this is your very first video of mine, I want to apologize in advance, but definitely check out some other videos from me and also consider subscribing as well. So let's just get started. Now, on a normal day, this routine without a doubt would take me 10 minutes or less to complete, just because it's so simple. The products are very minimal and I wouldn't be talking normally, but I am going to be talking you guys through this, letting you guys know about the products that I am using and also the reasons why for some of them. So let's just get started. I am going to start with priming. For me personally, I feel like primer is important. It's actually essential in your makeup routine. You know, you want to start with a nice clean base and obviously do your skincare. And if you're taking care of your skin, then the less you have to cover up. Or sometimes there's circumstances like mine where I am taking care of my skin, but I just haven't figured it out completely. So I am going to start with primer. I'm going to use this one. This is the Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. And again, this is the blurring one. You guys see me use this one in my previous video, but I decided to pull it back out for today's video, specifically for the blurring effect. Now, you could choose to use something like Milk Makeup. That's really going to make your makeup stick and hydrate. Well, it doesn't really hydrate, but it's going to make your makeup stick and last. So you can use something like that. You can use a glowy primer if you prefer. But for me today, I'm just going to take this one and just run it in my T-zone area, where I know I have pores and that I want to kind of mattify. For the rest of the skin, you know, I don't really need to prime anything, especially because I have my skincare products on and my face is very well moisturized, so I'm not too concerned about not having anything. In my opinion, I still kind of have like a barrier between my bare skin and the makeup. As you guys can see, it blurred the T-zone pretty well. I didn't really need to use it all over my face, although if I wanted to, I definitely could do that. Now, when picking these 10 different products, it was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So we do have a bonus product, but that product will be shown a little bit later. Now we're going to jump into foundation. For foundation, I'm going to use this one, which is the Nars Natural Radiant. You guys know I love this foundation. I'm obsessed with it, and right about now, I can't just slap some concealer on my face. I mean, I could, but I don't really like to just use concealer just because I have a little bit more going on with my skin. If it were a little bit more clear, then I definitely would not opt for foundation, and it would be more of like an everyday makeup look or everyday no makeup look, but that's not what I'm going for in today's video. So I am going to use a little bit of this. So this foundation again is in the shade Syracuse, and it is the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and this one right here definitely has that coverage and it just has a nice beautiful finish as well. And it's more on the natural side, but if you build it up high enough, then it will look a little bit more full coverage. But again, my favorite foundation, and you guys know I'm obsessed with it. So I put my foundation on, but then I realized I didn't do my brows, and I hate doing my brows when I've already got like a full face of makeup on, or foundation on for that matter. So I did take it off like in the eyebrow section, like just up here, and that's it. So I'm gonna fill in my brows really quickly. I'm gonna use the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit, and I'm gonna fill them in, and then I'll go back with a little bit more foundation just to get above the brow and everything. But I just absolutely cannot, for the life of me, do my brows once I have foundation or any other makeup on my face. For me, it just doesn't turn out the same. So I'm just gonna speed this part up and fill in my brows as I always do, which shouldn't take me too long, but the technique is pretty much the same. So we're gonna move on to concealer. I am gonna use the Dose of Colors concealer. This is in medium tan 20. I used this for the first time, my last video as well, and oh my gosh, I loved it so much. So I'm really going to lather this on. I just feel like the coverage of this concealer is exactly what I want. And since I can only use 10 products, normally I carve out my brows with the Nars Soft Matte Concealer, but today I'm just gonna take a little bit of this same concealer on the back of my hand and do that. But first, actually I'm gonna do that first. So while I let that concealer sit, I am gonna work on carving out the brows. I put a little bit of the concealer in the back of my hand. I'm gonna take this black concealer brush and just use this to clean up the brows a little bit. Again, they are not looking their best today, but we'll make it work. So I'm taking very little at a time because I don't want like a sharp, cleaned up, you know, type of brow. I just want it to look a little bit more presentable than what it's looking like right now. Okay, so not my best work, but we are gonna blend out the concealer, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Camo sponge, dry, and it is dirty. I have not cleaned it yet, but I'm just gonna use this to blend out the concealer. So whatever I have left on my sponge, I'm just going to tap that on my lids just to prime them a little bit. You guys know, again, I love using the Nars Soft Matte for my lids, but I'm just gonna use the same concealer just to make it cohesive and just everything look the same. So I feel like the beginning of this video has been a little hectic, at least for me here on the back end. But if you guys can't tell, then one, that's good. Two, that either means A, it really isn't that bad, or B, your girl really has some really good editing skills, because I am flustered. But we're gonna push forward. Now we're gonna move into setting the face, and I'm going to use only one powder for this. You guys know I love using like 2 powders, a loose to set the T-zone and under eyes, and then a face powder, like a pressed powder for the rest of the face. But we're limited on products, so we're just gonna go ahead and use one. I'm gonna use the Mercier translucent honey powder. This powder right here is a recent purchase for me, and I just have not been able to put it down. I just really like the way it, you know, makes my skin look, for one, and two, it's just very, very fine and flawless. I also like their translucent as well, but I've been really into this honey powder. It just gives that brightening effect, blurring effect. It's everything in a powder that you would probably want. So this is a really, really a favorite powder of mine, and I just got it not too long ago, and I'm already obsessed. So that says a lot right there. Now that our face has been set, we are gonna move into more powder products, and we're gonna start with bronzer. We are gonna be skipping over cream contour. That to me was an easy decision to kind of leave out of today's video, because I don't think it's necessary for the everyday consumer or everyday makeup wearer, unless you're like an MUA or, you know, doing your own thing on the side that involves you using makeup a lot. To me, it's just not necessary, and I don't always wear cream contour. I definitely can do my makeup without it, so that's what we're gonna do today. Now, I wanted to be sure to pick a bronzer that I knew I'd be okay with using on my nose, so I went ahead and picked out this one from MAC, the Give Me Sun. I love this bronzer. It's definitely a little bit warm, but I don't mind that personally, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of this for both my face and also my nose. And a little bit of this powder does go a very long way, so you don't need too much. Now that we're done with bronzer, for the face, I'm actually gonna use that same bronzer and put just a small amount in my crease. Now, this isn't our eyeshadow. I mean, it plays a part of the eyeshadow look, or you can just use bronzer in your crease, which I have done many times before. I've even, you know, done a whole tutorial here on my channel using bronzer as my eyeshadow. But I just want to give a little bit of definition in the crease, and then I will show you guys what we'll use later on just to complete the look. You literally need little to no product, and that's really it, at least for now. So that's pretty good. So we're just gonna leave it like that and jump into blush. So for blush, I picked the Milani Luminoso blush, and this one is pretty universal. It goes with so many different makeup looks. So honestly, I think this blush is just perfect, especially if you love like that orange type of blush, which I love. So I'm all here for it. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. And the good thing about this blush in specific, not only is it gorgeous, but it has a little bit of shine to it in a way. Like, not like glitter or anything, but it gives a little bit of luminosity to your face. So with that being said, we definitely are skipping highlighter. That's something I could absolutely leave out. Not only because of the blush choice, but also because I'm not crazy about highlight right now. I love blush, but I'm not crazy about highlight. Thinking back on everything, I just, you know, remember the days where I didn't care about blush. There would be a time where I could sit down, like long time ago, where I could sit down and do this routine and not use blush. But nowadays, I really, really love the element of blush. So we have used a lot of products so far, and we are almost there, but we're not quite finished. So for the eyes, to kind of finish those off, I am going to use, instead of an actual palette, I'm just going to use this Nude Stix eyeshadow crayon. This is their eye color stick in copper foil, and it's just this nice golden shimmery stick. So this right here can be used so many different ways. For me today, I'm definitely going to use it for eyeshadow because that's why I pulled it out. So I'm just going to literally just draw this onto the lid. And remember how we used the bronzer in the crease? That's just to give, you know, the shadow a little bit of dimension instead of just this color just sitting on our lid, you know? So that is why we did that. But you could also use this stick as a highlighter. And it's definitely something I thought about doing for today's look. I might just highlight, you know, above my lip and my nose just to show you guys, but for the most part, I really don't care for highlighter right now, but I will do that to show you guys. But you can definitely use it for so many different things, and they have other shades as well, but I really do like this one. And I got this, I want to say last year, in my BoxyCharm, so I definitely opted to keep it, and I have been using it a ton. So now that the eyeshadow has been applied, now we're gonna move into the lashes, and this is where the bonus product comes into play, whether you have a little extra time to spare or if you're quick at putting on false lashes, you can just implement automatically. But I am going to apply a small portion of falsies on the outer corner of my eye. But first I'm gonna go in and use the Fenty Beauty mascara. This one is her full frontal mascara in Cause I'm Black, which I believe is her only mascara, but we are gonna use this because I really love the length and volume that it gives, especially if I'm using like just lashes on the outer corner. You don't want your lashes to be like super short out or in here in the inner part and then all wispy and stuff on the outer corner. You kind of want to mimic that effect and give them that length and volume to kind of match. So we're gonna go in with this first, and then I'm gonna pop on my falsies, and then we will move on. So I'm gonna run some music and we're gonna get this part done. So now that my lashes are on, as well as the mascara, I just think it gives the look, you know, just a little something extra, and I really like it. I've been definitely into just like the outer corner lash right about now. That's just my vibe. I don't know. To me personally, I just feel like it's so much easier, and it really does something with the look. But now I'm going to line my waterline with a little bit of the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in Nude, which I use very often here on my channel. I just want something to open up the eyes a little bit without being too much, and obviously using a white, you know, like eyeliner is too bright, and then I don't want to close in the eyes, so I'm not going to use black or brown, so this would be perfect. It just really opens the eye up and just gives it this natural like open eye effect. I really like it. So now all we have left is our lips, and I'm gonna keep it very simple by just popping on a clear gloss. To me, this is the most easiest choice of all, besides like a lip balm or something, just to keep it super natural, nothing too overdone, and definitely everyday wearable. However, if I were to choose like a liquid lipstick or something like that, I feel like I would have to choose a lip liner as well, and those are two different products. So to minimize on the products, I just feel like the best choice is either a clear gloss or a lip balm. So today we're going to use the Fenty Beauty. This is her gloss balm in Glass Slipper, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on my lips and be done. Alright beauties, this here is the finished and final look. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I feel like this video could have gone a dozen different ways. I mean, I could have done a lot of different things, but this variation in specific is just what I love personally, and what I'm looking for in, you know, your average 10-minute makeup look, when I want to feel glam and pretty without doing too much and not using too many products. This is just what works for me, and I personally love it. I hope you guys love it as well. Let me know down in the comment section down below what products from today's video that you want to or would take out and replace with other products. I'd love to hear what your variations are down in the comment section, so let's talk about it. But with all of that, I'm gonna close out today's video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it despite everything. But overall, I think we have a pretty decent makeup look. So again, let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in my next upload.